Capture WE's Liv Morgan stuns in business. Look at Greater Together panel. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. I am Elena. Have a nice day. For the latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Liv Morgan is continuing to grow her presence outside of wrestling, as the WWE Women's World Champion recently appeared at the panel of the Greater Together Los Angeles Summit. The event featured some of the big names from sports, business, entertainment, and technology. The summit took place from May 19th to May 21st, 2026, as part of the UK government's Greater Together LA campaign. The initiative was created to strengthen cultural, business, and technology connections between the United Kingdom and the United States. Liv Morgan shares photos from Greater Together panel appearance. Morgan appeared on a panel called Elite Performance Has No Borders, which focused on how success and leadership can go beyond different industries and countries. She joined some notable guests on the panel, including former NFL stars Andrew Whitworth and Osi Umenyiora, along with British Paralympian David Clark. The discussion focused on topics like overcoming challenges, dealing with pressure, and performing at a high level in competitive environments. After the event, Morgan shared photos on social media and said she was thankful to be part of conversations about diversity, inclusion, and international collaboration. She captioned her post, "It was such an honor to be a part of this panel speaking on diversity, inclusion, and how high performance transcends sport, geography, gender, and industry." Apart from her message, Morgan turned heads with her stylish, business-inspired look. Known for her colorful and edgy WWE character, she switched things up with a more professional corporate-style look. Morgan wore a sharp pinstripe suit with a collared shirt and tie while holding her WWE Women's World Championship during the panel. Get yo girl. Rhea Ripley reacts to cheeky moment with female. WWE star Rhea Ripley is at the top of the card in the women's division on WWE SmackDown. And she recently took a moment where she reacted to a cheeky moment with another star on the brand. After WrestleMania 42, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss have been in Rhea Ripley's corner to take on some new and old faces on the blue brand. However, Mommy and the Queen haven't come to terms with their situation, and there are times when the two are not on the same page. Regardless of their on-screen tension, Flair has been having the time of her life on Friday Night SmackDown. On the recent edition of Friday Night SmackDown, Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair faced Fatal Influence's Fallon Henley and Lainey Reed in a tag team match. During the bout, Flair cheekily slapped Ripley on her butt, and the clip eventually reached Mommy following the show. The women's champion replied and, jokingly, stated that IYO Sky would handle the Queen if Bliss didn't handle her partner. It seems like the two megastars in the women's division are trying to get on the same page. Rhea Ripley will compete at 2 WWE Premium Live events. Earlier this year, Rhea Ripley became the face of Friday Night SmackDown when she won the WWE Women's Championship at WrestleMania 42 from Jade Cargill. Later, Mommy officially joined the blue brand for the first time in her career, but faced new threats in the process as Fatal Influence targeted the new champion following their main roster call-up. Later, Jade Cargill returned from her hiatus and attacked Mommy with B-Fab and Mechin. In the coming weeks, the management officially booked a 6-woman tag team match between Cargill, B-Fab, and Mechin against Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, and Alexa Bliss. However, Ripley isn't done yet, as she accepted Cargill's challenge. On the recent edition of Friday Night SmackDown, Mommy agreed to give the Storm a rematch for the Women's Championship at Clash in Italy. The company has confirmed that match for Italy, and it'll be interesting to see which star leaves the event with the title. Rhea Ripley sends one-word message to Charlotte Flair after awkward moment on WW SmackDown. Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley teamed up to face Fallon Henley and Lainey Reed on WWE SmackDown this past week. The veterans emerged victorious over the Fatal Influence members, but the tension between them was on full display. Ripley responded to a fan who posted a throwback clip of the two teaming up during the Thunderdome era, and a clip of the recent tag match in a split screen. Flair and Ripley recreated a moment from the Thunderdome era when the former Judgment Day member patted Flair's head repeatedly to make the tag. Charlotte recreated the moment on SmackDown by patting Rhea Ripley's head from the corner to tag herself in. Here is how Ripley responded. Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair will team up less than 24 hours later and will be joined by Alexa Bliss to take on B-Fab Machine and Jade Cargill at Saturday night's Main Event 44. It will be interesting to see if they can coexist and get the win like they did on SmackDown, and whether Fatal Influence will play a part in the match after being so closely involved in the storyline. Rhea Ripley will defend her WWE Women's Championship against Jade Cargill at Clash in Italy. In just a week's time, Ripley will be defending her Women's Championship against Jade Cargill at Clash in Italy in a rematch from WrestleMania 42. The Nightmare emerged victorious at the grandest stage of them all to win the title for the first time in her career. However, she will now have to face Cargill without Io Sky in her corner in a bid to retain the championship. Considering her relationship with Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, she might be outnumbered in Turin, and it might be an uphill task for her to come away with the victory. That being said, Ripley vs. Cargill 2 is bound to be an interesting matchup. In addition, it has now been confirmed that the match will air in the first hour of Clash in Italy and will be available to watch on ESPN before the show moves to ESPN. Unlimited, the streaming service Jade Cargill, suffers unfortunate wardrobe mishap on WWE SmackDown former WWE Women's Champion. Jade Cargill suffered a wardrobe mishap on tonight's edition of Friday Night SmackDown, where she arrived to attack Rhea Ripley. It served as the go-home episode before Saturday night's main event, where Cargill and Ripley will square off in a tag team matchup. Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair teamed up on the Friday night show against the Fatal Influences, Fallon Henley and Lainey Reed. The Queen and the Nightmare picked up a win over the heel stars and stood tall together with Alexa Bliss by their side. However, the Storm, B-Fab, and Micah jumped them from behind. The Fatal Influence and Fab and Macon then teamed up to take Flair and Bliss out. During the same attack segment, as Cargill was dismantling Ripley, fans saw her suffer an apparent wardrobe mishap as her tights were a bit loose and kept slipping, exposing her innerwear. The Storm seemed concerned about it and kept on pulling her pants upward. Check out her mishap here. Jade Cargill is set to face the team of Rhea, Charlotte, and Alexa alongside her heel crew at the 2026 Saturday night's main event this weekend. She will also be facing Mommy in a rematch with the Women's Championship up for grabs at Clash in Italy EXWW. Each champion makes a major confession. During one of her TikTok live sessions, two-time Women's Tag Team Champion Jade Cargill made a shocking confession about her personal life. She revealed that during her high school days, she had a boyfriend and a girlfriend. "I had a boyfriend, I had a girlfriend, I had a little bit of everything," she said. "In high school, I was a player." That being said, it will be interesting to see what plans Triple H and his WWE creative team have in store for the Jade Rhea saga in the coming months. The two superstars will battle it out this weekend at SNM E2026 in a 6-woman tag team match, and then at the WWE Clash in Paris Premium Live event in their Women's Championship rematch.